You have a few minutes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here, early this morning. America, I hope you're watching, and I hope you are listening. You see, we have in America a white guy by the name of Donald J. Trump, and another guy, I guess he's a foreigner named Musk. I never heard of him before, most recently. They tell me he's a very rich man. I even hear he's the richest man on the face of the earth. So here we got a combination of one of the guys that's ego tripping, one of the biggest egos on the face of the earth in Donald Trump. And you got another guy whose ego is just as big or bigger. In other words, he has the money. They say money talks and everything else walks. So what my point is, ladies and gentlemen, you see what they're able to do. You see how they're just ramrodding themselves through the system that you have thought, that we have thought it was so dynamic and so protective of the way we are. This is what made us so different than these other banana republics or people like Russia or people like China just subjugate the people. You see, we find out now that we are really no different than that. You see, I heard somebody say not too long ago that this was a young nation compared to the other nations of the world, and that we were allowed to do a whole bunch of stuff. And you know a little bit about our history. We don't know the real history, but we know what we've been given. And some of it is ugly. Some of it is real bad because some of us were victims of it. And we carry it with us throughout eternity. And we know that it never changed. In other words, what I'm really saying, ladies and gentlemen, to get straight to the point, is how we treat people. We have not cared about people. And that's no big thing. That's the way of the world. Nobody cares about people. That's why we have wars. That's why we have pain and suffering. That's why we have poverty, crime, and all those other things, because people don't care about people. Oh, yes, it doesn't mean that everybody's against everybody. No, some people, they have that compassion for one another. But to the extent that it affects the system, so the system itself represents that, heck no. Why does the system always have to represent the ugly part? Why does the system always have to have that pain out there? And you always have some rich person who seems to be benefiting from it, but it does nothing for the pain and the suffering that exists. Why is that? It's because it's a game that's being played. We've been deceived from the beginning of time. Now, the way America, from its beginning, the way you treated the natives, the way you treated all the other people that you oppressed, the way you treated black people and slaves, and the way you never even stopped doing it, even up to today, the Republicans were ready to ignore what has been taking place throughout history, and they want to rewrite it, go back and start, put the power, it ain't funny, put the power back in the states and try to start all over again, recreate slavery. A whole history of that kind of attitude allowed for what's happening to to America today. What Trump and Musk are doing to this country is a reflection of what you have done to black people and other people that you have abused throughout your existence. And it has brought you to this point. And constantly you have heard another argument telling you that this is what is happening, that this is what you've been living all the time. You might not have been feeling it, but somebody was feeling it. But it didn't matter to you because you weren't feeling it. And now many of you feel it. Some of you still don't feel it. But the truth of the matter is the same as it always has been. If you had not listened to this bunch of lies, you could have listened to the truth. And the truth would have allowed you to live here on this earth in these bodies during these times and those times and then throughout until God changed God's mind. Living as though you're in heaven with your needs, your wants, and your desires being met, suffering for nothing. Living in peace and being prosperous and free, joyous and happy, and living your dreams. Never worrying about food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, all of that, because all of that was prepared for you, every last one of you, wherever you are on the face of the earth. If you're a human being, this God that you don't see has prepared that all of this that I just described to you would be experienced by you because you were made for a purpose on this earth, God's purpose, not my purpose, your purpose. Oh, we get a chance to do a whole bunch of stuff. We get all kinds of freedoms while we're here to do all kinds of things, but we are here primarily to do God's purpose. And God has not given us God's business for us to think around in our head. We can't even deal with this. So God's business is God's business, but our business is to take care of this, and this is our responsibility. And this, with Donald Trump and Musk and what's going on in America, is telling the world that all of this crap is nothing but BS. And until we, the people, I'm not talking about governments, I'm talking about until we, the people, change our minds, until we, the people, change our hearts, and until we, the people, change the way we act and change the system that governs us, until we can see everybody enjoying because they have chosen something that they love doing. And that which they love doing gives them their greatest joy. And by having their love and their greatest joy allows them to participate in the creative process to provide for us this heaven on earth so that we can be available to do what God has for us to do whenever God wants us to do it. Now, BS ain't nothing but BS. And what we've been living is nothing but pure BS. But I just got through sharing some stuff with you. You should contemplate. It might do some good. I think I'll stop for now. Until next time, Eddie Marcus say goodbye.